Well, if you want to throw your head into the ring to succeed William Bratton as police chief, you've got to get your application in by midnight tonight. That is your last shot. Bratton's final day on the job is October 31st, so his house is up for sale. And if you're interested, it's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,700 square feet in the Los Feliz area. It's on the market for $1.875 million. Now, you're looking at some of the pictures that were online. This is an open floor plan with an awful lot of wicker furniture. And one person who saw the pictures online commented, "I want to know if he's locked up the decorator who bought that sectional wicker sofa." From the chief's house to the dictator's tent, no hotel would house Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi during his stay in New York, so he tried to pitch a giant tent on a portion of Donald Trump's estate in Bedford. The Trump people indicated they didn't know who the tenant was. Doesn't much matter now. The town threatened criminal charges for violating zoning and housing laws if the tent wasn't removed. In tonight's Crazy or Credible segment, we welcome Bob Thompson from Drinking with Bob. Bob has tens of thousands that check his commentaries on YouTube. Bob, thanks for being here. How are you tonight?
No problem, Fred. How are you?
Good, thank you. How bad does Donald Trump look here?
Yeah, you know what? It's just unbelievable. It's not even Donald Trump. The whole thing is ridiculous. Just the fact that these guys are in this country, Muammar Gaddafi, forget about that he's putting up a tent in Donald Trump's backyard. Gaddafi, Ahmadinejad, these people come in this country, all they do is yell at freaking Americans, downgrade the country, and we welcome them. Meanwhile, a couple of weeks ago, we had a congressman call the president a liar, and the country was about ready to stop for all this stuff. Then you have the amount of money we're spending on these people. Do you realize, Muammar Gaddafi, we're spending $20 million in New York City alone just for the security on these guys? $500 million we give to the UN every year. For what? The UN? You know what the UN to me is, Fred? UN to me is a big traffic jam. Have you ever been in New York City when this stuff is going on? It's a joke. You might as well put your car in park because you're not going anywhere. And what's the relevance of Muammar Gaddafi anyway? When was the last time this guy was relevant? The last time I seen him on TV, I think I was watching him in black and white. I seen him today. The guy is a disaster. I thought he was Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I thought I was watching old episodes of WWF today. I was waiting for Andre Giant to come out and body slam this guy. And then you talk about the tent. The tent was the big story. He put a tent up in Trump's backyard. He didn't know about it. They take it down. But I don't know if you heard this story. He wanted to put a tent up in Central Park, and they wouldn't let him. I wish they would have let him put a tent up. You want to know why? Because I see a lot of homeless guys with tents. They would have blown Muammar Gaddafi's tent away. I could just see the post tomorrow morning. Muammar Gaddafi's tent is so bad, not even a homeless guy wants to live in it. Clay Aiken pitches a better tent than Muammar Gaddafi. I mean, this stuff writes itself, right? It writes itself.
All right, I do want to say, I want to move on, but it's not often you get a reference to Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Now, a woman in South Carolina tried to honor the memory of her neighbor who was killed fighting in Afghanistan by planting flags along the route the casket would take in South Carolina. A wonderful gesture. Some of those flags were planted in front of a Bank of America. The branch manager removed the flag, citing corporate policy. Now, keep in mind, B of A received $45 billion in federal loans from the government. Now B of A has apologized. What do you think should happen to the branch manager, Bob?
Well, again, the branch manager should be fired. We should never even see the branch manager again. It is incredible. Like you just said, $45 billion is given to these people, and the branch manager comes out, and the reason he said he took the flags down, because he thought customers might be offended. Who are the customers that are going to Bank of America? Is Al-Qaeda? Is Osama bin Laden all of a sudden have a savings account at Bank of America? It's insane. You know what? That guy should be fired, and every Bank of America in this country should have a guy dressed like Uncle Sam inside, handing out wallet-sized copies of the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. They should have someone dressed up as Betsy freaking Ross outside, waving 2 flags and blowing a whistle, Fred. That's what they should be doing. It's insane. I mean, it's insane what they're trying to do with this freaking country with this stuff. You can't put an American flag outside Bank of America. Where does it end? Where does it end, Fred?
All right, Bob, we got about a minute here. We got to stay on time. Last one. A couple of congressmen want all legislation to be posted online 72 hours before they have to vote on it. Then they'll know what they're voting on. Does this mean they haven't known what they've been voting on?
Of course, they have no idea what they're voting on. It's ridiculous. 72 hours. These things are 2,000 to 3,000 pages long. But they can't read them in 72 weeks. They have staffs. They have hundreds of thousands of dollars and 72 hours. And this is what? For transparency? You got to be kidding me. There's no transparency in the government. It's a joke, okay? Putting these things online 72 hours before so they can read them is like giving Rush Limbaugh a copy of Chris Matthews' freaking DVD set. He's going to throw it in the garbage. What's he going to do with that? This is like a teacher. You going into a class, and then 10 seconds before you give them the test, she gives you the questions. Oh, thanks. 10 seconds to read these guys. There's no transparency in the government. It's absolutely ridiculous, Fred. It's never going to happen. It's all more garbage.
All right. Bob Thompson, crazy or credible? Well done tonight. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.